fam, we did it. Top 4 in the bag. 4-1. Weird 4-1 that was. It was a weird 4-1. We didn't smash them in terms of the way the game was played. They had loads of chances, but they're crap. So luckily they are crap. And we sent them packing. But what a good way for Erik ten Hag to cap off a good season for his first season, right?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, you say we didn't smash them. We had 5.3 odd XG, so we created plenty of chances. Probably could have scored.
How do you know that already?
Saw it on Twitter.
These XG guys, they always know the XG just for no reason. Like, we had 5 points. How do you know that already?
No, I just got a notification, one of them. But
you got XG notifications turned on.
I do have XG notifications turned on, yeah. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Not ashamed to admit it.
Fair play. That's what you do. That's what you do. Man.
Yeah, well, we had plenty of chances. It could have been 8-4, really.
Yeah.
But it was a really weird game, and it's so strange thinking especially at 4-0, thinking this could have been very different in the first 20 minutes. And in a sense, I was thinking, if we turn up against City and play like this, we're in big trouble.
We'd lose 8-0 for that.
Even in the first 20 minutes, we could be 4-5 down.
Yeah.
It was really bad. But then still, obviously we got the first goal early, the second goal just before half-time, really important. Casemiro, fantastic. But then I think what was really strange was, I think this Chelsea team physically, in terms of like conditioning, fitness-wise, it's one of the worst teams I've ever seen at Old Trafford.
Yeah, and
they run out of steam.
Yeah.
They just couldn't run after 50 minutes. It's really, really strange to see a team that just can't move, because they were causing us all sorts of problems where they could actually run, do all those sorts of things. Like Gallagher in the pockets was causing so many problems, runs in behind from midfield all the time.
Switches out to Madueke and Mudryk on the overlap on the other side. They were causing us trouble.
They were causing us problems, but then they just ran out of gas. It's so strange to see. And it's such a weird game, because we had so many chances, scored 4 goals, but you're also thinking there are some problems here as well. So yeah.
Everybody's waxing lyrical about Casemiro today. Is that the case for you?
Unbelievable, but what I've got to say is he's doing 3 players' jobs half the time. And there's points where Chelsea players are running through. Eriksen he sees him go past.
He can't run, can he? He can't.
He doesn't even change his pace slightly. He sees the guy run past him, looks at him, goes, "No, I'm just going to keep running the exact same speed, let him go past."
No, I just don't think he's got to change of pace. That's the one speed.
That's all he can do. He's running at top speed the whole time.
He's only got drive, reverse, neutral. Like, there's no other gears.
No. I want to see a race between him and Maguire. I'm genuine. Like, seriously, I don't know who would win.
But he's got tech though, so
he does. Yeah. But in the first, those early on when Chelsea created those pullback chances across the box, it was coming from Luke Shaw starting really narrow, because Chelsea had, I think it was Madueke really wide.
Yeah.
Azpilicueta was getting really high, really narrow. So Shaw was having to start narrow to stop that gap becoming too big to Lindelof. And then as soon as they played the ball out to Madueke, Shaw would sprint out, and for whatever reason, Chelsea would have a runner from midfield going into the gap that opened up between Shaw and Lindelof, and Eriksen was just going, "Nah, I'm not tracking it." Sancho or Rashford, whoever was out there, Sancho at that point was, "Nah, I'm not tracking it." So they just had to run it in behind every single time, and you do that against City, and you pull it back to Haaland or De Bruyne rather than Mudryk.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Yeah, in big trouble. Mudryk, by the way, £100 million.
I know.
100 million.
I know, but you know what? He can shift. But it's just no end product. That open foot, don't know how he misses that. Havertz, don't know how he misses. Conor Gallagher, shot across goal, scuffs it, hits off his toe, goes out. Like, we conceded big chances. I was saying to Josh, who was sitting next to me, I was like, it's actually really worrying. Like, we're 4-0 up and we're not in control of the game. But I do want to focus on the positives, because we've managed to get top 4 when, a lot of us at the beginning of the season predicted that we wouldn't be able to get it. I'm not saying everybody did, but with how bad we were last year and what Erik ten Hag's had to contend with, how good of a season do you think it has been? Obviously, we could be on the brink of something special. Leave that where it is, but Premier League, how good has it been? And foundations?
Look, it's not over yet. I think I'm really happy that it's, in terms of Champions League, it's wrapped up tonight, so we can see hopefully some debuts on Sunday for some of the young players, or some minutes for maybe Kobbie Mainoo after he got his award today. Don't give Garnacho a start. There was one towards the end where I think Casemiro clipped it up in the air. I was like, just thinking, Garnacho, please don't go for that, because all it takes is a 50-50. You get clattered, you're out of the cup final. I'm glad he didn't, but
Anthony now looked like a bad one as well. So
he's probably out of the cup final. But look, if you'd offered me this at the start of the season, snap your hand off. It's been a fantastic job so far. Obviously, a lot of work to do in the summer, but the football we're seeing on the pitch is much better than we've seen for a while. Yes, we're still a bit too counter-attacking. We can't really control games, but we're getting there slowly, which is good, I think. Luke Shaw was a big miss when he came off. He was pretty good again today.
Hopefully that's precautionary. I haven't seen anything yet.
I'm pretty sure he'll be back for the cup final. Apparently it's a minor back injury, so
probably just felt something for, you know what, we're 2-0 up. Let's just not worry about it. Let's take you out. Wan-Bissaka. A lot of people talking about Wan-Bissaka. What is it? Is it tactical? Is it just ability? He's just got better? Is it understanding of what's been asked for him? Is it the fact the team's better than it was last year, so it helps people like him? Is it just Eric Ten Hag because he's that good of a manager? How is he doing what he's doing now?
I think there's a bit of everything. I think he's got a lot more confidence in the players around him. I think he's really clear on his role. And one thing I think in particular that you can see with Wan-Bissaka is, when he's popping up in really weird positions, that's not because he's just floating around with freedom. That's because he's listened to Ten Hag and he's making the right runs, making the right movements, doing things at the right time. I think whereas some other players when you're coaching players, will want to do their own thing, want to sort of interpret the game how they want. Wan-Bissaka, I think he understands his limitations. He knows what he is and what he isn't. And so he will follow Ten Hag's instructions to the letter. So if Ten Hag says, when the ball goes here and this player makes that movement, you go onto the last line, go and become basically the striker position, he will do it. And you saw it in the game against Bournemouth. At times, he was the number 9. He was the highest player up the pitch. Today, you see it at times as well. I think after one of the set pieces, he popped up on the left wing.
Yeah. Did he score? I was out myself. I was like, please score. He just wanted him to score. So obviously, he's got a step too far. He ain't going to score. Yeah. But he's just doing a madness. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really impressive. And I think that shows what you can do as a player, where being aware of yourself, being aware of what you are, what you can do and what you can't do, and when you need to just listen to instructions, follow it, and do that to the best you possibly can, because he's doing every instruction to the letter. His body orientation, like body shape's fantastic for where he's supposed to be on the pitch. When he's tucked into midfield, he's always side on to receive the ball and then play forward with his next touch. When he's on the last line, he's ready to receive and try and sort of cut something back. He's making the underlaps at the right time, overlaps at the right time. He's in the right place to deal with wingers on transition. He's doing everything to the letter that Ten Hag will want him to do. So that's why he's got back into the team. And yes, I think when he's under pressure, when we're trying to play out, he's still probably not the perfect player. He's not the most assured in possession.
But it's not like it's getting to him and breaking down and people keep nicking it off him and he's conceding chances. It just doesn't happen.
No, it's not. He's aware of his limitations, moves the ball quickly, and that's what you need players like that in the squad.
Yeah, Jadon Sancho today. I mean, especially now it looks like Anthony's going to be out for the next couple. That'll probably be it, barring a miracle, because he looked in a lot of pain. Yeah. But seeing Jadon Sancho on that right hand side today, laying on chances for people, got a good assist for Martial to get the second goal. How did you see his performance, and did it show you anything where you think actually there's a glimmer there? I might be able to start seeing something. Obviously, it's only one game, but how did you assess him today?
I think, of course, there's a glimmer there. I think we've got to be realistic in that if you put Sancho, even in his current form right now, in that City team, left wing, right wing, either wing, he played brilliantly. He can do what Grealish does, what Mahrez does, but they're in a position where they pin teams back so well that all they have to do, the only time they actually ever take people on, Grealish and Mahrez, is if they're 1v1. As soon as the second defender comes into the picture, pass backwards, move the ball, find another chance.
And he wants to play like that.
Yeah.
So many times he's in 1v1 positions and he's got space. If it was Anthony, it's head down, he's going to get to the byline or keep going. But Sancho knows that I ain't got the lungs for that. I'll rather keep it, give it to Bruno, play the correct pass.
Yeah, he's a chance creator. He's a passer of the ball, really good in possession. You need runners around him. You need players close to him. You need him tucking inside with someone going around the outside of him. And I think on the right, he probably had that a little bit more with Wan-Bissaka. And I think obviously as well from the right, what helped him was then towards the end of the game, Rashford coming into the middle, making those runs there, being a decoy, opening up space in pockets for Sancho cutting inside. So I think it was a good game. I wouldn't get too carried away on it yet, but he's one of those players that I think I can see why people would say to sell him if the right offer arrives, but I think, again, it's a bit like Donny van de Beek, where when the team's perfect, he can come on and become a lot more effective than he is now. I think Sancho's probably better than Donny, but it's one of those where the better the team is, the better the player will look.
Who was your man of the match to finish off?
Easy, Casemiro. Easy.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Unbelievable. He's I can see why he gets suspended so much, because he's doing 3 players' jobs. And there was one where I can't remember who it was, running through midfield, centre circle. The guy is Eriksen's this close to the guy.
And he gets away from him.
Just grab his shirt, bring him down.
I think he tries a bit, doesn't he? He tries to get in and then he just carries on.
The one it reminded me of was there was one where Fred was there against, I think, Crystal Palace on the counter, and it was running somewhere down the middle of the pitch. The guy's like, I'm Fred, you're whoever it was from Palace. On the touchline, you're on the touchline. Fred somehow manages to be this close, not push him out of play, not tackle him, just let him through. They end up scoring. It was start of last season, I think.
Yeah, when he should have just cleaned him out. When we were saying, just clean him out.
Yeah, put the ball off the pitch. You're that close to the touchline, sort it out, but you can't. That's why Ten Hag's after Mason Mount, because you need the technical quality, but you need the physicals, you need the athleticism.
And he comes back and makes a big tackle, doesn't he? From that moment, he comes up, gives it.
Casemiro,
Casemiro all day.
Unbelievable.
Big up, man.